Reset button.
And we're back. Homemade explosion effects and all from our little mouths. Tannen, my mannin, episode 19 of the reset button. We're back. We got our numbers correct this time. This is the actual episode we are talking about.
Yeah, episode 19, remastered.
Remastered. A hiccup, you would say, in the post edit. This is our second go at this episode, but thankfully, Tannen, we got more stuff to talk about, and we've both been playing stuff that we hadn't last time we recorded this. So, round 2, here we go. Have at you, Tannen. Where can everyone check us out?
You can check me out at OTannensBum at Twitter. You can also check Travis out on his lovely channel at HibikiTMD, as well as his YouTube channel, and also come give our Facebook page a little love. Come on, give us some love.
And, show that you still care, at least.
Yeah. Come on, I'll feed it. I'll feed that animal if you all just at least show up to pet it.
It's like our Tamagotchi. It's ours. Just look after it a little bit, guys. But it's there if you want to check us out on Facebook. Real quick, shout out to all you guys who stopped by the first ever Slam Pigs live stream last night. It was fun. Look forward to doing those every month. Every pay-per-view post-show. Tannen and I went live last time, but we prefer to stay more in post-edit city. It was fun, so maybe way down the road we'll try a reset button live in the future. But until now, back to our roots, back to what we do best. Tannen, I have actually, since we re-recorded this for round 2, I have played more of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I got the complete edition, obviously, for the PS4. I only put a little bit of time in initially, maybe an hour's worth, but now I'm getting more into the meat, and I love it. I mean, everything I've heard is true about it. So far, it can get very fucking hard. I will say that. It comes off way harder than a Skyrim. And this is also the first time I've ever played Witcher 3 also, so it's not like I've played it before. Just first impressions, the insane amount of detail that went into this game is staggering at certain points. It really is. Wind physics in this game, I know that's splitting hairs and really geeky to talk about, but it's true. There's something to say about a game, especially in 2017, that makes you just stop in the world and take it in for a second. You know what I mean, Tanner?
Would you say that it tops what you saw from Breath of the Wild as far as wind physics and everything like that?
I don't know. Well, for one, I've only had hands-on the little time I was at your house and played it. That's all I've ever had. Number 2, in a way, it's kind of like apples and oranges, maybe, because let's be honest, the Zelda world compared to the Witcher world is a little more, A, kid-friendly, B, I don't want to say cartoonish, but you know what I mean, well-rounded more. I don't know what the word is. But it's excellent. For a Nintendo game, best I've ever seen by far.
Yeah. I think Witcher 3 is going to be my next adventure game that I check out. I've been wanting to get my hands on it. Once I'm done with Zelda and I've moved on, which I think that's coming pretty soon, I think I'll move on to The Witcher 3 just for something that takes up some time. It does look like a really freaking awesome game from what I've seen of it. I have heard other people rave about the details, and it's to the point where it's discounted. And you know me, I'm a cheap gamer.
We both are, and I totally got it for like $15. I got it on like a flash sale or something. I do want to say real quick, I am taking on a little bit more than I am. I'm playing this, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy X, and Rogue Galaxy. So that's 4 RPGs I'm taking on. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, Tana, but I'm keeping up. Like, I'm not, like, mixing up. My stories aren't blending, even though most of the stories I know for these games. My combat system's a little bit, maybe blending a little for between 10 and 7. But other than that, once I get the sphere grid down, it takes me like 2 minutes, and I'm right back in it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for actually bringing up 10. I have the remastered one.
And that's what I'm playing. That's what,
I haven't even opened it. It's sealed.
Nice.
I'm that lame.
You're really not, because real quick on 10, let's not get real long on it, but I think the general consensus between you and me on 10, and most people would agree, it feels like a more of a movie because it feels like one long cutscene. There's not enough play. Like later in the game, obviously, you definitely get your hands on time, but it takes so fucking long sometimes. And like you're so excited to finally get into battles, you just keep doing circles because you don't want to leave. You just want to keep grinding because I don't, especially if you've beaten this game back in the day. The story's really hard to fucking go back and watch sometimes, guys. And I know I have friends of mine, shout out to the Social Injustice Warrior who I've talked about on Twitter. He's all about the voice of Titus, but god damn it, I can't stand Titus's voice. It's just me, it's personal preference, but that's my take on 10 in a nutshell.
Yeah, kind of a lame ending in that one too.
Yeah, it really is.
They
I'm
went,
not
they
gonna
went for the
spoil
Night
anything.
Shyamalan twist on that one.
It's such a fucking cheap way out without spoiling it. It's so but
Oh no, don't even get me started on 10 too, which I feel like challenging you to beat that and play
I
it the whole way.
I'm debating live streaming it because the remaster, like you're talking about, has all four actual games packed in, like the
Mm-hmm.
expansions, and so you definitely get your. I got it for brand new at Walmart for like $15. Shout out to Walmart. So
Yeah, I got it for like 10 sealed at the shop. So I was proud of that. I was like, ooh.
did you in
Yeah.
fact like seal it yourself and then buy it and then
Huh?
unwrap?
No. Like it came in the store sealed, and then when we saw what it was going for new, yeah, I was like, well, I'm getting this, and I'm gonna pay this for it.
I mean, like I said, I don't blame you for hesitating to crack it open. You know exactly what you're getting into. It's not like anything. I mean, the graphics are overhauled, and I will say it is nice to have the option on the fly to switch between the remastered cinematic OST and the original. That's badass. That was an awesome feature because I do
Mm.
think that this Final Fantasy might have the best Final Fantasy music still to this day, and I know that's a bold
I
statement.
don't know. I really love Seven soundtrack.
Sevens is good, but this one is so diverse, and I know it was actually more orchestrated shit to work with at this day and age too when this game came out, and that's kind of not fair to Seven. Both of them are right up there though. You can't. But Tannen, obviously, I have a shitload on my plate as far as games. What have you been playing, man?
Obviously, I've been playing Zelda. Got to the end of that. Um, can I talk about what talked about with my friend on that, or is that like a spoiler alert?
As long, I guess, if you do it without giving away, uh, maybe not the tail end of what you told me. Maybe the build up, like the
Like
second
what happens
arteries,
in the epilogue
all
that
that shit.
doesn't exist.
Well,
um,
have at it.
yeah. No, I'll go ahead and say it. Like, so I'm at the very end. I mean, I got to Hyrule Castle. You know, I took some time off from it, then went into Hyrule Castle. You know, I told Karen, I was just like, hey, I'm at the end of the game. She was like, I'm gonna go take a nap. When the final cutscene pops up, wake me up. And I spent 6 hours running around Hyrule Castle, and it finally felt like a Zelda game. I was in an actual dungeon. I was blowing up walls and finding treasure, and I was so pleased all of a sudden with it. And then I realized, dude, the shrine system is bullshit. Like it's just I'm satisfied with the game, but not as satisfied as I was when I started playing it. You know what I mean?
In a way, you would say now that you've gone through all the most, you got all the shrines now. You said right.
No, I didn't get all the shrines.
Okay,
No, I got
but
enough to
the
get the
majority,
masters.
you would say, you can definitely see how they kind of took a cheap way out, so to speak, with making the game seem bigger with just using like repeated
Yeah,
shrines instead of
with these repetitive puzzle
yeah,
things,
exactly.
and it is really it did kind of break my heart. Like I felt kind of like I got like fucked over. Like I was told I was going to have a filet mignon, and then I was given a ribeye. That's not even it. That's a more like a fucking Salisbury steak. A really good Salisbury steak, very well made, but it wasn't the filet mignon that I was going to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, though, like I'm right at the end. I went out to dinner the other night, and this isn't really a spoiler alert because I'm not revealing any plot or anything. But I was told that when you beat Ganon finally, the credits roll. There's cutscenes and shit that end the story. That was not spoiled for me, but then credits roll, and then
Spoiler! It's time,
all of a
guys. Skip
sudden,
ahead, guys.
huh?
I was just telling them to skip ahead if they don't want
Oh,
to have
why?
anything spoiled because people are like that. Go ahead.
No, well, whatever. Credits roll, And then when you get back into the game and go back to the map, Ganon's still taking over the castle. It's like you didn't fucking do any of that shit. And there's no moving on in the world like in Red Dead Redemption where you could still run around. I mean, Grant Marston was dead and you had to play as his annoying son, but still you could still run around in that post world after you did all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That does not exist in this, and I am.
So you're basically saying, in a nutshell, spoiler alert again, there's no new game plus.
Unless that's what the DLC is going to be.
Right.
Which
That's
I hope the fucking shit it
lame.
is, because I mean already paid $20 for that.
Dude, even games like fucking Sleeping Dogs have new game plus. What the fuck is that?
I don't fucking know.
Holy
shit. Way
shit.
back up the road. It's like, well, if you didn't get any of these shrines, go back and get and do your side quests.
I am seriously hoping there is like a plot hole in that somewhere, and maybe you or our friend Marla or someone hasn't, like, there's gotta be a fucking new game. Like, how ass. But you know what? So Nintendo. Wouldn't that be so fucking Nintendo to do that?
Yeah. Not even a Master Quest. Give me a Master Quest with different locations and shit.
Holy shit, man. That breaks my fucking heart. Way to break my heart, Tannen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I mean,
Messenger.
still, I'm going to take part of my evening tonight, and I'm going to fortify myself a little bit, and then go back in and beat the shit out of them. And I guess then I'm going to go out and get Witcher 3, because you sold me on that.
Well, speaking of Nintendo practices and shit real quick, it has come out since we recorded. They have issued a statement on why they've stopped, and their quote, the production of the NES Mini, and it's basically due to resources. We don't have unlimited resources, I think, was along the lines of the quote. No one said you did, Nintendo. Who the fuck has unlimited? I don't even think fucking goddamn Bill Gates has unlimited.
You know how simple that fucking system is?
Way to take something and make it so fucking broad when you're just asked a question. I mean, typical.
Jesus Christ. What, you can't produce plastic? Is that what you're fucking saying? What's your system going to be made of next? Oh my god, that is a terrible. What the hell's going on with them?
Good, typical Nintendo PR at its finest.
We launched the Switch. Go fuck yourself.
I just thought that was worth sharing, because that was when I read that, I was like, I don't know. it just registered as bad PR. But let's talk about something that isn't bad. This has actually got a lot of people.
I'm still not necessarily done with my games, yo.
Oh, go ahead. I just thought you were just because 6 hours in a dungeon sounded like that's all you've been playing. It's just maybe to me. But go ahead.
No, that was the other day.
That's right. Because you told me.
I've had a long weekend here.
I know what it is. Go ahead.
Also, I got Full Throttle Remastered. I forgot that I pre-ordered it, and today, like, I get on and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. So I started playing that.
Real quick, Tannen, for those that don't know, tell everyone a little bit about what Full Throttle is, because a lot of people don't even know that this game exists.
Oh, Full Throttle is a 90s. We've definitely talked about it before. Full Throttle is a 90s scum game, which is one of those classic click-around games. Made by LucasArts. It was made in 1994 originally. Basically, you're the leader of a biker gang in this weird kind of quasi-futuristic world. And you get framed for murder. And so you've got to go and solve that and beat some ass. It's an awesome game. The voice casting in this game, going back and now replaying it, still shocks me. Like, Mark Hamill does like 3 or 4 voices in this game alone. Also, like, I'm noticing little tidbits, like the woman who did the voice of Phil and Lil also plays the main woman character.
Phil and Lil from Rugrats, yes. You know, when I was a kid, I thought Phil was probably my favorite character, because he just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he didn't. Neither did Lil. They both eat worms and shit.
Lil was annoying, though, because she'd always end up ratting out fucking Phil, and it's like, we just work together, we could con our parents at anything, but no, someone's always got to spoil it, and it was Lil. So, sorry.
They still switched bows and stuff, remember?
Yeah.
Phil would put on the bow.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I did watch some Rugrats actually on Saturday morning.
I have to edit in Rugrats pictures. That would never happen, so.
But yeah, this remaster is completely incredible. I love switching back and forth. This time, Day of the Tentacle, they put some work into it, but this one is straight up amazing on some of the stuff that they did. It looks fucking just marvelous. I still like switching back and forth between the classic mode and the new one just to give me that eye-popping, holy crap, look at this.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorite games growing up as a kid. I always loved the storyline. After I'd even beat it, I would still go back and play it just for the story. It's definitely worth checking out. Who knows? The PS Network might end up making it free at some point, but I spent $10 on it.
Is it like a Day of the Tentacle remastered where you can switch on the fly with the graphics?
Yeah, it's just like that.
Nice.
And then I was reading too. In 1996, LucasArts also came out with a game called The Dig, and the graphics were really kind of downgraded, mainly due because they focused on it's the sprites, but they focused more on the background to make that look extremely pretty. It's a game where you get whisked away to this alien world. While you're trying to divert an asteroid from hitting Earth. And this is way before, Deep Impact and that other fucking Bruce Willis movie.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
The Aerosmith
way before
movie.
that shit.
Both those movies fucking suck,
Syrian, that was great, but I just read that they are remaking that, and I am extremely excited for that, because again, one of my favorite fucking games. Like, I loved PC gaming when I was younger, and I loved those type of games, especially that and King's Quest and all that.
I love that we're in an era of remasters from like those obscure PC games. Speaking of which, Tannen, speaking of obscure 90s remasters, the game isn't good, but I guess it's like a haha, it's a, you know what it is. But it's Night Trap coming to PS4 this spring, and in like a week or two, I think it sees release. Limited physical run. People have lost their fucking minds. Our buddy Jim from Drink Beer Play a Game has a complete copy of Night Trap. He's never played it because after he got it, his Sega CD broke. So he's had a copy. He's never ever played the game. That's gotta suck. It's just sick.
Man, I'd cry every time I'd look at it.
Yeah. But now he gets another chance, I guess. It's on the Xbone too, I believe. It's seeing. I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna read reviews and figure out which one I want to get it on. Speaking of Xbone,
be great if it was on the Switch.
Forgot to bring this up. Not only am I also playing the back catalog as much as I can for 360 games, which it is awesome the way that 360 games run. I'm playing Dead Space right now. Totally fantastic playing off of that. And it's also a completely new experience for me because I never played on a flat screen. I never played the first Dead Space on a fucking flat screen. It was always on a either a computer monitor or my one of those big box TVs, my old big box TV. So that's been really great putting that back in. But I did happen to download and purchase a game called The Late Shift.
Yes.
Which is also an FMV game, but it is a modern FMV game.
An actually well done one.
Dude, it's a lot of fun. When I saw it at first, I was like, this could be totally lame and stupid, and I might not like it. But then I was reading the reviews from these people, and they were like, dude, when I saw FMV, like, I thought, because you think 90s FMV, like, you think it's just going to be terrible and cheesy. It's an actual really good game, and I played it through. Karen watched me play it. She was really entertained with the way I took the story. Then I let her play it and watched her go through it like a couple days later. Completely different. I mean, the main plot line's the same, but completely different scenes, completely different characters, and she got a completely different ending. There are 7 endings to this game. We've only gotten 2 of them.
Nice.
So I'd really check that out.
What would you say is an average playthrough of the story? Like an hour
and a half.
Hour and a half.
It's like a normal movie.
Right.
It's not like you have to solve any puzzles. You just have to fucking make choices. It's like a choose your own adventure.
It definitely looks. But I'll be honest with you. If I see it, I'll pick it up if it's ever free or on sale. I'm not gonna go out of my way because it's just not my type of game. Like the Telltale games. I mean, they're cool. Like speaking of which, Tales from Borderlands is free this next month on PSN.
Yep. That's another game I haven't opened yet.
But they are what they are. Sporadically, I get into these kind of games, but I need some meat. I need some action because I'll just want to watch a movie.
Batman's a really good one.
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed Batman. And a whole different take too on like the Wayne family and everything. Like
So
this is all new.
we both definitely played a lot of stuff this go around on this episode, which is good. And last night I just recorded a let's play on our new setup Tannen with Mike from Slam Pigs. Played a bunch of GBA stuff, so maybe today might be my day to take a little break from game skis. I don't know. I'm a little burnt out. Gotta be honest.
From playing games.
Yeah, I'm just overloading myself. I need like a day or so. Just recoup. You know what I mean?
Yesterday I spent all day helping my sister and my brother-in-law move.
Oh, see, you're
I'm
right.
ready
You're on
to
the other end.
down.
You're ready to dive right in.
Yeah.
You're salivating right after we do
Oh yeah.
recording. You're probably
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Night Trap, Tannen. I mean, that's talk about out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, man. I mean, what are we gonna get next? Plumbers don't wear ties. We should.
We should never get that game.
Come on. I mean, if it's only like $10, I get it. Which, yeah, just to mention, you said that you wouldn't pay that much money for it and stuff. I only paid $10 for late shift, and it was totally worth it. It's you spend the same amount of money
that's
on a
round about the
Blu-ray.
price I was talking about catching on. No, I didn't say I'd never spend it. I said, or I would catch it on sale. So that's a hell of a good price you got it for.
Yeah.
I'd love to see stuff get remastered from that era, like Corpse Killer, Sewer Shark, the Sherlock Holmes game for Sega CD, which I know that's fucking total rose-colored glasses because that'll never happen. But Corpse Killer and Sewer Shark, I'm not going to give up hope for, because those games they have a cult following, especially Sewer Shark. But yeah, Night Trap, for those who don't know, I don't think it gets enough credit for what it did for gaming. People talk about the craze in the 90s about the rating system, and Mortal Kombat gets a lot of the love, but really, the harbinger was Night Trap, Tannen.
Yeah, that game is what created ESRB. I mean, there was other games that helped with it. Like Zombies Ate My Neighbors was another one that was under attack due to over violence. But at the end of the day, here's what's so funny, by the way. Because I have two different copies of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. One of them has no rating on it, and the other one was produced and then put out and has a kids to adult rating on it. So what were you freaking out about there, Congress? But here's the funniest thing about Night Trap, and you and I had talked about this. People flipped out over this game in the 90s, and oh my god, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, Mortal Kombat still gets an M rating. This game, on the other hand, T for teen, folks. It's okay to play this as a 13-year-old.
Yep, they reevaluated the situation, and they're totally right. This game is fucking cheesy, hokey, nothing controversial about it. I mean,
it's not gory. It's not gory at all either.
People weren't ready at the time for mature themes in games. They just weren't ready for it. Society wasn't ready for it, and eventually the game industry said, okay, we're doing it either way. It had to happen. It had to happen. It would have just stagnated. Gaming wouldn't evolve.
Well, it had to grow up with the kids and like, and the adults that even had gotten into it in the 80s. Like, everybody was ready to grow up.
Exactly. For it to even stay relevant.
I still play kid games, though. I still play games that are targeted for children, like Knack. It's an alright game. I played it. I will still play games that come out that are targeted for kids, as long as they're fun. Like I'm not going to be playing Elmo's Learn to Count or nothing like that. But as far as like the kids games, I'll still get into them. I'll still play kiddie games.
Having multiple choices is a good thing for any form of entertainment, anything really, and life. Variety is the spice of life, as they say.
It is. And when you're old enough, you might want to watch Hotel Transylvania, but then sometimes, you want to watch fucking Jason, and you have that choice because you're an adult.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But God, I don't want to lie to you, because I think when we recorded first, I said I wouldn't get Night Trap, but man, it's tempting just to say.
Dude, I'm definitely getting it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I am on it.
It's just hilarious that this happened. I think
it's a Saturday night of it.
The greatest joke of all. And now they're going to make bank off people. People are literally losing their shit. It's so good. Most of them never even play the game. I got news for you. When you play it, because I've never played it myself, but I've seen plenty of playthroughs on the whole game. Goddamn. Could you imagine at the time shelling out what they were asking for when Sega CD was shiny and new? Could you imagine shelling that kind of shit out?
It was a $60 game.
Yeah. It was a staple Sega CD game.
Or was it no, it was a $60 game. But still,
whatever it
Because
was going for was way too fucking much. We'll just say that.
yeah. That was back when games were $50 to $60.
Speaking of
Yeah.
way too much, Tannen, a lot of people have said over the years the Call of Duty series has jumped the shark. It's come back and forth. It's redeemed itself with its latest entry in the series, Infinite Warfare, which has gotten rave reviews. I'm not going to lie. I think this one looked the most interesting to me in years because they thought outside the box. They brought fantasy, sci-fi type shit in it more. But we all know, we all saw it by now. The Call of Duty going back to its roots, Tannen, what got them on their pedestal in the first place. World War II, simply called World War II Call of Duty. The trailer was released. We both seen it. It looks good. My real quick, Tannen, I'll get mine out of the way because I know you have a lot to say about this because you do have Battlefield 1. I'll say just my initial instincts. It's totally there to compete with Battlefield 1. It's Pepsi and Coke. It is what it is. It's not like they're going to give us a shitty half-assed game. Maybe uninspired, and I get why they went back to its roots. And this had to happen eventually. And I think it suffers from it's going to get compared to being like Battlefield Light. I think them re-releasing a game like this, World War II, A, is fan service, and B, they knew it was just money sitting there waiting in a pot to collect because people are going to jump on this. People are so hyped already. A lot more than for fucking Destiny 2. But, Tannen, what's your take on the new Call of Duty trailer?
So from the trailer, it looks really good. Do not get me wrong, and I'm really enjoying it. I really hope that they do the different fronts because remember in the original one, you could play as a Russian, and they kind of had like that enemy at the gate shit going on that end, where you kind of went back and forth, like you played on all fronts in the original Call of Duty. This, on the other hand, I mean, allied fronts, I should say. I mean, this, on the other hand, so far it looks like it's just focusing on not only the American front, but Normandy at that. I mean, like let's just go back to Saving Private Ryan. But as far as because there was a lot of different fronts in World War II that you could go with. I mean, they could have done the African campaign because it was a while before we got our noses into Normandy. Which maybe that's what they're going to do. Graphically, the game looks freaking awesome. Honestly, people have been clamoring for a World War II game, a good World War II game. And it hasn't been on the new gen yet. I think their timing is a little right because it's finally everybody's done with the modern warfare. We're ready to go back. But you are right, and wow, look at your timing. Battlefield 1 came out, and they were like, oh shit, we got to do something.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did.
And it's not like Infinite Warfare did poor in sales or it was a bad game. That's like in a way I kind of call bullshit because do they need to compete with Battlefield 1? Do they really need to? Because they're not losing a lot right now. They're not losing any steam based off of Infinite Warfare and how it was received.
Yeah. Dude, they could have actually made another Black Ops, I think, and still been well received with it if they made a better Black Ops than 3.
They have built themselves up, and I mean, they've earned it. Give them their props for what it is, a franchise, but they're in Madden territory. They're always going to sell well just based on the brand and the name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And even so, like Ghosts. I don't know if you played that.
I have it upstairs. Terrible. I still own it.
That was fucking horrible. I have Jesus, that was bad.
One of the only 3 Call of Duty games I've ever played. Big Red 1, Modern Warfare 3, and Ghosts. 2 of those are the 2 of the shittiest Call of Duty games. I know that ever.
Dude, Modern Warfare 2 was awesome. But
yeah, well, I said 3. So I wish it was 2.
I know. You know what? I didn't play all the way through 3. I've only played all the way through 2.
I don't
first
like
one.
It.
But
different developers though, not fair. I know.
Yeah. Still though, I mean, it's just funny that so many people took like you had the Medal of Honor series, that franchise. I mean, the original one was produced by fucking Steven Spielberg. Honestly, like that original Medal of Honor is what started, in my opinion, really the hardcore World War II shooter game, and people kept developing off of that. And then what happened with Medal of Honor? Down the line, what did they do? They went modern. After Vanguard, I think it was the one where you jumped out of airplanes. You were part of the the 101st Airborne. The last iteration of Medal of Honor was Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare came out, so Medal of Honor people in charge of that were like, well, let's make a modern Medal of Honor using a current conflict, which I'm not going to go off like I did on our last recording about.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
the drinks aren't flowing as heavily probably this go around either.
Yeah, no, not as much. We're midday here.
But you guys missed out. That was for my ears only. So joke's on you.
Yeah, it was a great history lesson, but I'm not going to.
I learned a couple things. I appreciate
it. No problem. But yeah, that's why I also think with the state the world is in, developers are kind of actually starting to sway away from the modern conflict.
Exactly.
Mainly based due to tensions.
Touchy.
Because they want their game to sell internationally, and you can you can sell a game about killing Nazis in Germany, and Germans love it.
I mean, and that's what I was going to say real quick. That's one of the biggest. This is going back to the Wolfenstein days, one of the granddaddies. It was Nazis. It's always, besides zombies, and there's another one I can't off the top of my head, but it's like something that's going to sell as far as to kill, because it's one of the funnest things to fucking kill.
Yeah, it just is. It's the epitome of hate and just terrible human beings. So
Top 3 most fun things to kill. That sounds awful, doesn't
Nazis, zombies. And I can't think of a third one. I guess mythic monsters. Everybody likes killing monsters.
Any irrelevant NPC that's annoying, just as the same repetitive line in RPG. God, I want kills. You just can't kill them. There's nothing you can do about it in the old school RPGs. They're just there.
Yeah, I've actually decided I want to go back and play Fallout, but just be a total serial killer and just kill everybody I see.
Yeah, I think the first game that was it Fable, the first Fable that like gave you the option, like. Yeah.
To be bad.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, let's see what. I mean, this game is obviously going to sell well. People are already hyped, jizzing themselves left and right. We know it's going to sell well. Let's see how it's received, though, as far as the actual game. Tannen, speaking of actual games and receiving and reviewing, it's time for our Game of the Week, given to us by our good buddy, Crooked and Feachu from Killsteel Gaming, our guest a couple weeks back. Good people, check them out at Killsteel Gaming. Subscribe on YouTube, Tannen. It was a blast to have them on. But their game to us was one of their favorite games and one of ours. Honestly, I know each time we have a game, we play the first 30 minutes, but there was no need. We've both beaten this game so many times. Mega Man X for the SNES, Tannen.
Yes. I did, and as I talked about before, the iteration that I played this week was off of the Mega Man X collection on PS2. Ran really well. Very much still enjoy that game. It is awesome. There's really not much to say more about it. I mean, that was the 16-bit jump for Mega Man. And,
you could say a lot about it. I mean, a lot of people don't like the game because of the sprite differential from the old ones.
I think it looks like a beautiful game. I love the music. The enemies were great, and I don't know. I'm gonna pull Forrest Gump on this one and say that's all I got to say about that. If you haven't played Mega Man X, you're not living.
I'll throw our good buddy. Do you remember? It seems like forever ago now. We had our good buddy 8-Byte Brian on as a guest, Tannen.
Yeah. Wow, that was a while back.
He is one of those people. We threw him under the bus on that episode about he doesn't like Donkey Kong Country, and he also, I know for a fact, doesn't like the Mega Man X series because of that fact. And just like he thinks the hit detection's off. I don't have any complaints because I think they balanced it. It's not like they made the enemy sprites big and kept your players small or vice versa. They made everything bigger. So I mean, I know that takes a lot from the screen size, but they tweaked enough of the mechanics to where you can tell it paid off.
The game still flows. I mean, that was my debate there with Donkey Kong Country. I was like, but the game flows so well, like,
It does. It really does. And they added the climbing mechanic, which was awesome at the time, especially in a Mega Man game.
The swinging. We're not talking about Donkey Kong Country, but the climbing mechanic in that. Yeah. Oh man. You had the slide. You had a lot of stuff going on in that game that was just. It was a lot of fun. Some people even complain that Mega Man X is too easy. I would
not as hard as the NES games.
Yeah, I would say it is easier, way easier than any other Mega Man game. But I don't know. It still made it. I still like it.
If you know what you're doing, you can speed run any of the X games on SNES in like under 20 minutes. You can breeze right the fuck through them.
But still, that was a great game of the week. We weren't tortured. Thank you so much for giving us that.
I just want to mention the music
Oh.
real quick. It's some of my favorite on the SNES for Mega Man X, especially Storm Eagle's stage theme. It's fucking tremendous. You guys heard it though, because that was the intro clip for the show this week. So, shout out to us. Oh yeah, Tannen, go ahead.
This week's game of the week, I'm the one picking it. Now that I'm getting off of Breath of the Wild and this whole big ass world, we're gonna kind of simplify it down. We're gonna go for a game that I never finished.
Bubsy 3D.
Huh?
Bubsy 3D.
Fuck no, I'm not gonna torture us this week. We're still gonna stick with the Zelda vibe because I don't really want to leave Zelda.
Spirit Tracks.
This week's game of the week is Minish Cap. Your mission is to play Minish Cap. Try your best to get to the end, Travis, before we record next time. That way we both can talk about the story.
Can I one-up you and just record a Let's Play and put it on the channel and then talk about it?
I mean, I guess we could. I got it on the Wii U. Is what I played on.
We'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah. I like the game. I like picturing my Minish Cap with a Brooklyn accent. He's just telling you what to do.
You know what? At this point in 19 episodes, Tannen, any fucking game not named Golvelius is fine. It's fine. That game is so bad, and we love you, Scott, and we know you listen every week. We thank you, but man, I don't know if that's a rib still or that was a joke. I don't know.
I don't know, man. You did play Elf on the Game Boy Advance.
That was under my own volition, though. I'm my own worst enemy in that shit. Nobody requested that.
It's very true.
But yeah, there it is. The Minish Cap this week. I've never beaten that game either, Tannen. It's, I think, maybe besides Spirit Tracks and Skyward Sword, the only Zelda game I've never beat. So we'll see if I do a Let's Play or not. Finally, we streamlined or not. Good time to have you as always, Tannen, my man. And one more time, where can everyone else check us out on Twitter and all that good shit? And your little precious
Facebook. You
Facebook.
can find me at Tannen's Bum.
Let's see if you throw a "the" in my name this time. I'm counting on you.
Huh?
Let's see if you throw a "the" in my name this time. I'm counting on you because you always just say at Hibiki TMD, and that's like a parody account somebody made. Like, I'm flattered that somebody made an account. It's a little creepy, but
sorry. You can find Travis at the Hibiki TMD. Also, definitely check us out on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. We love sharing our ideas with everybody.
And just
we like
having
having
Facebook
guests
to make Tannen happy.
I was gonna say, can you go to the Facebook site? Come on, guys.
He really wants it, like, so bad. He's fiending
dude,
for some
guys are treating it like it's an abandoned playground. Like,
it is. It's like a family reunion and everybody jumped off the ship.
It's not. It's not. I'm not saying support fucking Zuckerberg, but I'm at least saying, like, support us.
It's a place to creep on people that bullied you in school and watch their lives crumble while you laugh because you feel validated. No, I'm just kidding.
That's such bullshit. I love posting my shit about my family and stuff and being like, man, I love all you guys and keeping in touch with friends.
I just feel like Facebook jumped the shark when Nelson, a.k.a. my dad, who only Tannen knows, nobody else is going to get this. When he has a Facebook, I was like, all right, I got to find another outlet. Hence Twitter. I could be myself on Twitter. Can you picture Nelson tweeting?
My grandma's been on Facebook for 5 years. And you know what? Awesome. And you know how old she is? 85. So what else?
Well, guys, either way, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, the Twitter machine, or just right here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, like button. Feel free to comment. If you guys want to drop us a game of the week, hell, we'll play anything. Just because you gave us shit doesn't mean we'll not do it again. We're willing. Not Final Fantasy VIII. Gotta address that every fucking time. But once again, Tannen, it's been the reset button. Episode 19 next week is the big 2-0, man. Already.
No, we're gonna have to do something special.
We'll see what tricks we got up our little sleeves. Until next time, you guys stay doll babies. We'll see ya. Let's hit it.
Reset button.
Hey guys, Travis here from Hibiki TMD, reminding you as always to follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out the Reset Button podcast with myself and Tannen, Hibiki Quickie, Hibiki History, retrospectives, everything in between, retro gaming, and pro wrestling, not to mention my other podcast with the man himself, Michael.
Hey, you dirty fucking pigs. This is Mike from the Slam Pigs Podcast reminding you to check us out on Twitter at the Slam Pigs Podcast, or check me out on Twitter at Mike the Slam Pig. Or Travis, where can they find that other show?
They can find everything in between right here on Hibiki. TMD. I don't really think they're dirty fucking pigs.